what they were doing. It was like a father and his kid, and they were taking a hammer to a chair. And I just went out and just said, guys, I'm sure you're really involved in whatever you're doing, but can you possibly, just keep it down, because, I have to shoot something for a, video and stuff like that. They just sort of gave me this look, like,
Go to hell?
I mean, I don't know, they went okay, they just sort of gave me this look. And I like, great! And they went back in, and, and they stopped for a little bit, but then they just did it a little slower.
You sound something like SpongeBob.
So at times, like when I go out and ask that guy in the robe and stuff like that, I have a gun, I just always look by their house and be like, so that's always fun. No, I haven't had anyone called on me yet or anything like that. So, no, nothing bad. Are there any questions over here at all? Anyone else I haven't heard from yet? Okay, then we'll take readings. Yeah.
What was, like, I guess, recent or of all time, like, movie that you were so hyped for and you were so excited about, it was so good, and just completely disappointed?
Twilight! I'm serious. I was really hyped for that. My fiance and I, we see all those movies, and we love them. We love making fun of them. We're just cracking up and stuff like that. This was just a disgusting, miserable piece to watch the reviews. Yeah, no, because I don't get that hyped for movies anymore, really. I guess maybe Wolverine I was a little hyped for, and of course I saw it, but then when I saw the bad reviews, I'm like, yeah, okay. And I watched it, I'm like, yeah, that was pretty bad. especially Gambit. I was like, damn it, I wanted to see Gambit, and he's in there for like a minute. So I guess that's, that's really the last one. So, yeah, any other repeats? Just a couple ones.
Do you watch any reviews on the site? If so, which one's your favorite?
Don't watch any of the reviewers? No, none of them. Bunch of hacks. I will say it gets tougher to watch them because they're so terrible. No. It gets tougher to watch them because time does build up, and we do have so many now. I mean, we have like 8 slots a day now for videos. We have so many producers. And a lot of them, sadly, I can't keep on top of. I try my best, though, when I can, but yeah, I do fall behind. There are some I do go out my way to watch. I do try to, I go out my way to watch Lindsay's, I go out my way to watch Phelan's, I go out my way to watch Noah's and Lewis's. Brad I've tried to go out my way for, but he's just like every second he has a video. I mean, he's just a machine. At Joe's I try to watch. Yeah, that's sort of the top ones I try to keep track of. But yeah, CR I really like watching his videos too, where he does the familiar faces videos. Aside from that, I tried to catch him from here and there. Like I really like Kaylin's Don Bluth tributes. I like watching those reviews. Or if it's something that's like, oh, just the subject, I gotta see that. I'll definitely check it out. But it gets tougher. So yeah, I do my best. But yeah, I can safely say I haven't seen the majority of most of my producers' work, sadly. But I try. I definitely try to make an effort. Let's do yes.
Two quick ones. One, what happened to the? If this was addressed, I'm sorry, but what happened to the distressed watcher? And also, what's it like collaborating with your brother?
What was the second one?
With like collaborating with your brother Rob. Or your
sure. Your brother. It's like with Distressed Watcher, we sort of saw that he was, we picked him up and because he wanted to do stuff that was different from what, from the Amazing Atheist or Angry Atheist, but he wanted to do something different from that. He wanted to do sketches, and okay, yeah, sure, try it. And we sort of saw that we were going in different directions. Like he was going in one direction, we're sort of going another, and we told him, we said, we think this is happening. Do you think this is happening too? And he's like, yeah. I said, okay, so, it's not like, you're gone, you're fired or anything, we just said, we're probably going to very slowly ease you out then. I mean, we don't want to, just kick you out or anything like that. And he said, that's fine, and I think he's pretty okay about it. And, yeah, eventually he sort of, went off. He's still on YouTube and stuff like that. I mean, there's never any big, fuck you, or anything like that. So he just sort of went off, and he totally understood. He's like, I get it. You guys are going that way. I'm going this way, So that was basically about it. With Rob, in terms of working with him, he's an asshole. Hey, fuck you. No, he's really easy to get along with because you grow up with him, and obviously you have the same sense of humor. And the way the writing process, because he's really big on the nostalgia critic and all the other stuff for the most part, I do myself. And he'll co-write that with me, and the way it'll work is that we'll put in the movie, and we'll sort of Mystery Science Theater it, we'll, like, watch it, we'll just shout insults and jokes and stuff like that all throughout. He's much better at that than I am. He's really good at thinking on the cuff and just, throwing these jokes, and then I'll take down notes of what we're saying, and then I'll turn that into a script. But he's really good at just coming up with the really funny, the really abstract, the comparisons and stuff like that on the fly. And I think I'm much better when I sit down and I can really think about it and I can calculate it. And he also has a much better vocabulary than I do. And my vocabulary is not...
As colorful?
Good. Something. So that really helps. And again, if I can really sit down and think about something, I can usually get, like sort of like the long insult. I can get some creative vocabulary words there. But I mean, he comes up with them very easily and very on the fly, and I use a really good portion of his jokes in a review. So yeah, that's basically. That's all I've got to say about that. So, Richard again.
Oh, hello. I've heard about this one movie for a long time. I still haven't watched it. I haven't been unable to find out. Maybe you've heard of it. Have you ever heard of the underground comedy movie? I've heard so much about it. I've heard it's like the Jason Freeberg and Aaron Salter of the 90s. It's made by the ShamWow guy. He made a movie. It stars Michael Clark Duncan and Slash of Guns N' Roses. I've heard so much about it. I heard about one of the sketches where one of the guys, I don't know who, dresses up in a giant penis costume and calls himself Dick Man and just. You can guess what he does and squirts.
It sounds like a classic, all right. And I will say the thing about bad comedies, those are harder to write for because there's only so many times you can say something isn't funny, and then you just get into this is as unfunny as and you can do some variations of that. But there's only so much you can do, and those are really tough. That's one of the reasons Biodome was so tough to do because it's like just how many times do you say Pauly Shore's not good? So yeah, and that's another one of like top.
Oh.
Biodome. I really hated that one. So yeah, I might check it out. It sounds pretty awful. I'll definitely do it. Yes.
Yeah.
The bigger hair guy.
Okay, cool. I was wondering, do you happen to watch Zero Punctuation? That's
a little bit, yeah.
Yeah, because the funny thing is, it's kind of a double update because on Wednesday, the new Nostalgia Critic video comes out. Like right alongside Zero Punctuation.
The internet just tries so hard to make you happy.
I know. And the second question is, any chance of you coming to some like Gen Con or anything in Indianapolis?
With cons right now, at some point I'll probably start because I find actually I want to travel. I might start actually seeking out some cons to go to certain cities and stuff like that. But as of now, I just go where they invite me.
You're invited to Anime Crossroads.
Where's that? When's that?
It's in December.
Oh, really? Oh,
December 16th and 18th.
Oh, well, that might be cutting it pretty close.
But you're looking to go next year.
But contact me, man. Maybe we can work out something. No, yeah, I mean, just like, whatever. Email, whatever. As long as it doesn't, coincide with, like a schedule, or as long as they didn't do something to piss me off or something like that, which is very rare. There have been one or two cons. I'm just like, I'm not going back to that. I don't like the way they did something. But it's very rare. I'm actually pretty easy going. Like the first con I ever went to, they say it was a GMX con. That's where I did the Casper one, and they said, would you like to come to this convention? Sort of geek media expo. And so I said, well, okay, I guess I gotta see if I can save up for the plane and the hotel and stuff like that. And they said, oh no, we cover it. I'm like, shut up. And ever since then, I've been sort of naively impressed with just people bringing me out somewhere just to have me there and just to say hi and have people praise your ego. So it's like, so I'm not that picky when it comes to that sort of stuff. I did finally go to a con that was a little too small. It was something like 100 people showed up. And I just said, okay, I have to start screening these a little bit. Because that was the first time I was like, yeah, this might have been a waste of time. I shouldn't say that because it's always good to talk to fans. And it was in Tennessee. It was in the mountains, so I got some great views. And I talked to one or two other good guests and stuff. I mean, it was so small. I was sort of saying, yeah, I don't think this is. I don't want to say profitable, but like you're taking time off work to come to a place, and